again everyone, Age of Dune here, and we are back with another League of Legends Shoutcast. This is actually a game that is being streamed at the moment by one of the very famous people right now. Not so much famous, but he's very popular. This guy right here, Plumber. His actual name is BoxBox. Well, the name everybody recognizes him as is BoxBox, because of the fact that he had two Chinese characters in his name previously that were not showing up on any North American clients. So he would just show up as BoxBox. So everybody just calls him BoxBox. He recently joined Velocity Esports and is currently a sub for their game. And I guess shortly thereafter he switched back to Plumber. Apparently he had Plumber before he was BoxBox, but people mocked him and made fun of him or something, and he ended up going ahead and just leaving that name behind for a while just to get away from all the unpleasantness that people would do. So he's back to Plumber now. I guess he has either gotten over it or people have really realized that he's good and have stopped making fun of him. So that's always good. I'm glad for him that they have indeed stopped making fun of him. He is actually Diamond 1. Last I checked, I think it said it was at 75 IP at the moment. So he's working his way up to Challenger. And very interesting to see. From what I'm reading, it looks like he is pretty much just pure top lane. He said he's not really comfortable playing anything other than top lane. And he doesn't think he can. But he is really good at top lane from what I understand. I don't know. I haven't actually seen him very much. But that's what people tell me, so, you know, that's pretty cool. So it looks like blue team is just kind of sitting around waiting, preventing any invades, and red team is pretty much just doing the same. Whereas BoxBox here is just actually just practicing getting over these walls. That is actually probably a good idea. It's a really cool trick on Riven to be able to get over those walls. Right now, in the current patch, she can use any of her Q charges, I believe, to get over walls. But that's not actually intended, and as of the next patch, she will be only able to get the third jump over the walls. So keep that in mind, people. If you do currently jump over walls using your Riven Qs, you won't be able to do it next time except for the third. So that's pretty important. She used to not be able to jump over them all, from what I understand, but then she was actually modified. When the game engine was updated, it actually changed her around so she was able to get over the walls. And Riot decided that they were actually okay with that. So they went ahead and balanced her abilities around that, and they're actually going to be changing it so that only that last one can, because they don't want them all to be able to go over the walls. They just want that final jump to be able to go over the walls. So, alright, let's go ahead and take a look at all of our champions here. We've got top lane, we've got Renekton, played by IGU Wave, versus Riven, played by Plumber, also known as BoxBox, as we've already said. Looks like there might be a gank here. I'll pause on my listing of the people, as it looks like that is going to happen. Nice little harass there from Renekton. He has no idea Jarvan is here, though. And, oh, Nasus came in, and now Riven and Jarvan were both going in on Nasus. They managed to get him down to half, and they got a flash out of it. So that was not bad at all for them. And now Nasus actually looks like he might want to come in for another gank. He might, I'm not sure if he's just defending against Jarvan should Jarvan decide to come in, or if he's actually wanting to gank this. We will have to see, though. It looks like he's just sticking around for now, just healing up. And there goes Renekton getting a little more harass off. Nasus is actually working his way in, so yes. Ooh, I'll be down there in a moment. Actually, let's go ahead and go down there now. Alright. Wards from both people. Caitlyn's getting pretty low here. And gets to Vayne, that's always bad. There we go. Vayne's doing quite a bit. Oh, the barrier. Very nice barrier. It followed immediately after by an exhaust from Janna. It means that Kate will survive. And it looks like she might actually get a double kill out of this. Is she going to get a double kill? Is she going to get a double kill? No. She shielded herself. I do not believe there will be. Oh, and of course, as I'm saying that, there's the double kill. So let's go back up here. I know that things were happening up there. Nasus actually made it all the way into this bush. Now he's going into the Riven. Riven goes ahead and flashes, or jumps out of this. Not flashes. Didn't need to use flash. Just jumped out using her Riven-y abilities. And she did end up making it safely to the tower. Not sure what these guys are doing. I guess they're just going to go ahead and proxy. Nasus is coming like he wants to go ahead and counter jungle, but that's not going to happen. So they're just going to proxy here, and Riven's going to be forced to farm under the tower. gank here on the Ezreal. Ezreal did manage to use his E to get over that wall, though, and completely dodge pretty much anything they could have done. So, nicely played by him. Alright, back to the champion listings here. We've got Ezreal, mid, and he's played by Restitution. Okay, just wondered. For some reason my mind was derping, and I read a few extra characters, but it is Restitution. Versus Ahri, played by Oregon D-Bag. Wow. I don't know if it's like Oregon D-Bag or Oregon Da-Bag or something else, but it kind of looks like it's Oregon D-Bag. So if that's not the intention, then I'm sorry, but that is definitely what it looks like. Alright. AD carries, we've got Vayne, played by SiPhu, versus Caitlyn, played by MeNoHaxor. The supports, we've got Lulu, played by SaxBalzinski, versus Jarvan, played by Facade 3, or Facade 3, something like that. In comes another gank on the Renekton here. Oh, he just flashes out of that Jarvan jump. So he did not end up getting knocked up by that. Very good flash by him. Finally, we've got Nasus, played by Rekeri. I'm pretty sure I've seen him on my stream before, or on videos of mine before. And Jarvan IV, played by Super Soda 13. Soda's good. Dr. Pepper's the best soda ever, of course. Cupcake. Alright, so up top, it looks like Jarvan and Riven took this time to go ahead and press us under the tower. My guess would be that Riven is going to go back as soon as she does that. Yes, indeed she is. And that means that Renekton's going to miss out on at least 2 CS, probably 3. Maybe not. Oh, I'll be down there in a moment. He did not miss out on the 3rd. I just wanted to see that. Alright, so there we go. A decent amount of damage coming in on Lulu, and oh, the Caitlyn got between Vayne and a wall. Bad idea there. Vayne is just going in on her, and down goes the Caitlyn, as we saw there. Does she end up getting the Janna, though? I don't think so. I think the Janna is close enough to the tower that she is going to be able to do this. And actually, Janna may end up getting Vayne. Janna is so low. Oh, nice. They baited that Janna back out because the Vayne was actually really low. I'm kind of surprised she didn't die from that auto attack, because if you notice, the shield actually came out right after Vayne ended up, or after the Janna hit actually landed. So it was actually really close, but she did end up surviving that. She did die to the Jarvan gank, though. That was a very nice thing from him. He just came in and just destroyed her. And now Caitlyn's on her way back. If we look at the CS between those two, 41 to 30, Vayne is actually quite a bit ahead, but this will give Caitlyn the opportunity to catch up here. And Caitlyn's actually ahead on kills, as it looks like Lulu got one of the kills. So, ooh, incoming gank there from Jarvan, but Nasus was already there waiting. Nasus just said, hey, how's it going? And, ooh, nice slow from Janna. The pop-up comes in from Jarvan, another pop-up from Janna, and Nasus is now in trouble. But he uses his exhaust to, well, not exhaust, but his little ability there to slow down the Jarvan, but it's not enough because in came the Ahri with her ulti and took him down. Nicely played by them. He was not really expecting that. Ooh, Lulu just got caught too. She was actually warding up here, pink warding, and unfortunately for her, they caught her. So now she is going to go down as well. There is another kill for the Jarvan, who's now going to go ahead and counter jungle. Because why not, right? Caitlyn is actually taking a lot of damage down here. I don't know if she got punted against the wall or not. It looks like she was thinking about going up there to help them, and in comes the Vayne, and yeah, she does indeed get punted against the wall. There's the stun, there's her barrier, though. She's trying her best to get out of this. The Vayne is going to catch her, though, I think. Yes, down she goes. So very nicely played by Vayne. Vayne now has to get to safety under the tower because those enemies are coming. So there we go. She is indeed running that way, and that was actually enough to scare Janna back because Janna knows that Vayne is actually very dangerous. Up top there, Renekton doing a decent amount to Riven, but Riven's actually doing a decent amount to Renekton as well. We'll say Riven's taking a lot more from minions because there were only 2 minions for her, whereas Renekton had almost an entire wave on his side. There goes the blue to Ahri, which means she's going to be a whole lot more deadly versus the Ezreal. And I'd imagine he'll be getting blue fairly shortly. Renekton came over here, not Renekton, Nasus came over here and grabbed the blue buff, the red buff from Jarvan, which means that counter jungle that Jarvan did a little while ago really didn't end up mattering too much, as Nasus still got that. He just had to worry about getting counter ganked. So he is going to go ahead and get blue. I don't know if he's going to give it to Ezreal. I would expect that he would, but I really can't tell because it looks like Ezreal is not coming. Looks like he wanted to give it to Ezreal, but Ezreal didn't come. So I guess Nasus is going to go ahead and take it himself. I keep calling him Renekton, and that's really offensive to them because they hate each other. Used to be brother, or they are brothers, but they hate each other. Lore. Anyway, Ezreal is actually going to go ahead and steal the Wraiths, because why not? I don't want the blue, I want Wraiths. Those are better. I guess he's doing perfectly fine with his blue, or with just Tear the Goddess. I guess he's not having any problems with mana, so why not, huh? Mirror with a gank up here. We know Renekton just died. There we go, is a lane gank. So the Jarvan came out of that bush, and there is the ulti, and down goes the Renekton. Renekton had already used his jump, so he could not use that to get over the wall, and he ended up going down. And now Riven and Jarvan have it in for this tower. I have a feeling they're probably going to get it, although Nasus is getting close, and he will be able to at least do some damage to them. I'm not sure if he'll be able to prevent it. Yes, he will, because of that ability right there. Went ahead and just cleared out all those minions. So they were indeed forced back. Were it not for Nasus, I have a feeling this tower would be dead very soon. So very nice save there from the Nasus. Down bottom, Caitlyn and Janna have together pushed these two quite a far away, but Caitlyn just took a lot of damage there from that Vayne. And now Vayne's going back in on the Caitlyn because Caitlyn came back in. Down goes the Caitlyn, and there's the stun from Vayne. Down goes the... No, Janna does end up surviving because of the fact that Ahri was coming. And the question is, will Ahri be able to kill them anyway? I think she has her ulti. She does have her ulti. There is the Lulu ulti. Very nice. And if she has a hit, if she has a stun, Ahri's dead. Ahri is dead anyway. Nicely played by Vayne. I wasn't sure if she had Condemn. It looks like it was on cooldown that entire time, as she did not end up using it. But had she used it, the Ahri would have gone down a whole lot easier. Riven's now just ripping Renekton apart. Ooh. Jarvan's coming in, going in on the Lulu. Nice Condemn from Vayne. Punts him back under the tower. So he just took a lot more damage than he was really hoping. And he's actually getting really low here. If she can catch him, he's probably going to die. Caitlyn's coming to help, though. So, yeah. Vayne wisely figured out that he's probably coming, so she did end up falling back. Nasus is going to go ahead and go in on red buff, though. And there we go. As I said, Riven was just bullying that Renekton, and she ended up killing him. Let's go back a little bit. There we go. Got him down to right around half, and he's healing up. But that stun right there, and then she just started going through him. And I guess he thought he could fight because he stuck a little longer than he should have, and yeah, now he's dead. I know we saw him die. He tried to escape there, but she immediately stunned before he could get that second jump off, and he ended up dying. I think he had the second jump. I didn't notice his rage there. I think it was over, though. I think he was red. But it looks like Nasus is going to go ahead and take this. It's a great thing about Nasus, that ulti makes him super tanky, and he just destroys Dragon with it, because it does that damage over time quite quickly. So he's very good at taking dragons, and he doesn't usually need help. I mean, it's always nice to have health. Ooh. That was actually not the best move by Janna. Oh, maybe it is because of that shield from Janna. There's the barrier from both AD carries. Vayne is going to take down the Caitlyn. Now Janna's trying to take down the Vayne. If Vayne has another Condemn, she does have another Condemn, and down goes the Janna. And Vayne does not end up dying to that. But in comes Jarvan and Ahri as well, so these guys are going to have to run. In comes the Jarvan, and lands his jump on her, so she does die off of that. There is the ulti from Jarvan, keeping that Nasus in there just long enough that it does absolutely nothing. And the Ahri came down to help, but she was not able to get anything either. Interesting ulti from Ezreal. I guess he was just lane clearing. That'd be my guess. But now he's going in on this tower because it's undefended by Ahri. Ahri just used her ulti, so I thought she did. I guess not. She must not have. Okay, well, I thought she used her ulti. Did she use flash, though? No? I don't know. I thought I saw her use ulti, but apparently not, because it's not on cooldown. Alright. Up top, Riven's back, and Renekton is back as well. And yet again, Riven's going back in on Renekton. Renekton's actually 2 levels below Riven, which is not a good thing for him. Janna's going around clearing up the wards around Dragon, but it's a little too late because you won't be getting that. And looks like Ahri actually has Ezreal pressed to the tower here, and the rest of her team's coming in to help. his tower did end up going down, or not his tower, her tower did end up going down, but now they're going to go ahead and do what they can to get revenge for that. So they're going to go in on this tower. Ezreal's just trying to clear out these minions, and Lulu's doing her best to help. They do end up clearing out all the minions, but now Lulu got caught by that charm. Lots of stuff happening top as well, so let's go ahead and take a look at that. Oh, we should have gone up there slightly sooner, but that's okay. Renekton yet again caught a little bit out there. The Riven's doing her best to go in on him. That does not end up happening. Jarvan's coming in though. Riven goes down to Nasus, and it looks like Jarvan is just going to go ahead and get out. No, he's actually going to go in on the Nasus again. And yet again, Caitlyn died to Vayne. That's terrible news for the red team, because if the Vayne's getting fed and it's off of your AD carry, things are not going to go well for you. So there we go. Caitlyn goes ahead and goes in on her under tower. She's like, I could take this, and then Vayne just chunks her. There is the condemn from Vayne. Never get between Vayne and a wall. I mean, I guess there wasn't too much of a choice, but had she gone over here more, she actually would have turned out a little bit better. She at least would have gotten a little bit of damage. But instead, Vayne punched her into the wall, and she died immediately. This tower did not end up going down because of that little bit there. And Ezreal's doing his best to keep Ahri off of it, and it looks like he is indeed going to prevent her for now. Nasus is going back, Jarvan's going back to his jungle, and there's another Ezreal ulti going ahead to farm up, and he'll probably go back afterwards. He is low on mana, and yeah, usually they do that after they grab that, or use that ult to farm. They just go ahead and go back. There we go. Nice little tower kill there for Vayne. That is the second tower kill for the blue team. Second tower kill of the game, as the red team has not actually got any tower kills as of yet. MIA ping from Caitlyn saying, I don't know where Vayne is, watch out. Because, yeah, 7-3-1 Vayne, you better watch out. Wow. Yeah, this is not going to be very pretty for the red team. They're going to have to try to do their very best to prevent that Vayne from doing anything. But unfortunately for them, the slow there, the wither, is on the blue team. And that's exactly where they don't want it. Riven's going to have to try to tear the Vayne apart quickly. And I guess Ahri will have to try to do it as well. Because if that Vayne does not go down instantly, they're going to die. But on the other hand, you've also got to think about the fact that at least for the red team, the kills are fairly spread out. We've got 3 on Riven, we've got 1 on Ahri, 2 on Caitlyn, and 3 on the Jarvan. Which means that gold is spread fairly evenly throughout their team. Whereas on the blue team, it's almost entirely concentrated on this Vayne. So that really, really widens it so that as long as they can take down the Vayne or make sure she's not there, they'll win the team fight most likely. Oh. Jarvan was going into the Lulu, but he did back off very wisely before the Vayne could get there. And he ended up escaping that. In he goes on mid lane. It looks like they're really targeting this tower now. Riven managed to get the first tower for their team up top, and now they're probably thinking about going and taking that mid tower. Caitlyn's down there pressing bottom, and Janna's a little bit caught out here. She does use her tornado to prevent them from going in on her though, so she will end up being fine. And she's going to go rejoin the rest of her team at this tower, and they'll probably be able to save it with no problem. There we go. She is indeed with the rest of her team. I kind of expected her to circle around that way, but she didn't. She just kind of waited there. Caitlyn's down here going in on this tower. It looks like she is going to get a tower kill for the second tower kill for them. Maybe not. She's going to go ahead and fall back. She did see the blue team heading down here, so she fell back, and that enabled the rest of the red team to go ahead and go in on this tower. Riven got really close to dying here. She's trying to get away from the Nasus. There is the Jarvan ulti. And Vayne came in, destroyed the Ahri. Now she's going in on the Riven. Riven's doing her best to get out of this. It looks like she is going to escape this Jarvan. Nasus is very close to dead. It looks like he is going to escape. Down goes the Jarvan to Vayne as well. The Janna's trying her best to escape, but she's going to die as well. So everybody but Caitlyn and Riven ended up dying on the red team. And at least they got a tower for it, but actually 2 towers because Caitlyn got bot tower as well. But unfortunately for them, Renekton was not there that entire time and instead pressed top, so he's going to go in on this tower. I'm not sure he'll be able to get it before Riven gets here, but I honestly believe he will, just because of the sheer size of minions here. There are a lot of minions here, and they're doing a lot of damage very quickly to that tower. The red minions are here, though, which does mean that the blue minions are going to transfer, and he does end up missing out on getting that tower. Dragon is respawned. I saw a couple pings there. I'm not sure exactly if they will end up going for it, but it's probably on both teams' mind at the moment. Once that dragon respawns, it's going to be on their mind. Jarvan's coming down. Does he have a pink ward? He does have a pink ward, so he's probably going to pink this up. The rest of his team is converging. Only 3 members of the blue team are around, but one of them is Vayne, and Vayne is super deadly. There is Jarvan coming out. He does go ahead and pink ward this up, and Janna unfortunately got caught a little bit there. She ended up taking almost half of her life, and Ahri missed her charm, so now they're going in on her. There is the Janna tornado trying to keep them from going in on him, and now the blue team's going in on this dragon, and they're just destroying it. It is gone. That is their kill already, and they're going in trying to take down the Nasus, which is not really the best of ideas, but they're going in on the Vayne now, and Vayne does end up going down to this. So they ended up taking down the Vayne. Riven was able to take down the Ezreal. I'm going to go ahead and follow him after this battle. Let's see. There he is. Okay, so he was actually up here. Okay, there you go. He used his E to get over here, which was not a good idea. That meant that it was on cooldown, although it'll be off cooldown before any engagements happen, so I guess that was not part of it. The Lulu's trying to get out. She does get picked up by the Riven. She picks up the Riven, so she knows what's happening. Ezreal jumps into Riven, and unfortunately that Lulu ulti was not enough to save him, and now Riven is just taking down the Lulu as well. But I think... Yes, it looks like Riven will be able to reach her. There's the stun, and down she goes. So that was a great engagement for the red team. They did not get that dragon, but they are going to get this tower. Almost definitely, because there is nobody on the blue team here to push them back. Nasus is coming up, but I don't think he's going to be able to do it. So they traded a tower, or a dragon, for... what it was, 3 kills and a tower, which is great for them. And now they're going in on this tower. They did lose the top tower, but they are going in on this tower as well. So they traded a outer turret for an inhibitor turret. And now they need to fall back. Vayne is back up, as is Ezreal. They are indeed falling back, and I think they will actually escape this. Renekton has gone back as well. Janna was able to push him off, or just make him realize it wasn't really worth it, because she's got a decent wave clear with that tornado. She could just get rid of the minions there. So he went back. So that ended up being 2 towers and 3 kills for a dragon and a tower. Not really worth it for the blue team, but if they can clean up this Caitlyn here, that would probably make it worth it. No. Okay. Red team's gone back to regroup. They're actually ahead in kills now. They are 200 gold ahead. 200 to 300 gold ahead. Not very much, but considering the amount of damage that was done to them early game, it's actually pretty darn nice. And again, like I said, if they can focus down that Vayne, they've won a team fight. The Vayne has all the kills for the enemy team, except for these 2. One on Lulu, which isn't going to be very strong, and one on Nasus, which will at least be somewhat strong, but not nearly as strong as those Vayne kills, or if Renekton and Ezreal had one. Riven was able to shut down that Riven, or the Renekton, and it really resulted in bad things for them. The Janna warded this just the right time, so they knew that the blue team was going to try to sneak a Baron here, and they were able to push that back. Ezreal going in, doing a little bit of damage to her to punish her, but there really wasn't much they could do. And now she's just walking around clearing these wards. The blue team actually has no wards here, so the red team could probably try to sneak this if they wanted to. Riven's on her way down. The red team really needs to wait for her to get here because she is actually a very large part of this. If you noticed in that last battle, she came in and was able to take down 2 of them by herself. So they do want to make sure that she's with the team, and if she is, they could probably win a team fight as long as they take down that Vayne. That is really the most important thing for them. There goes Jarvan in, tried to grab the Ezreal with his pop-up, but it did not end up happening. Ezreal ulti comes out, does a little bit of damage to Ahri, not too much. They do end up forcing the red team back, though. But red team can always regroup. Riven's doing her best to get away from this for the moment. In goes the Ahri. Lands her charm on the Ezreal, and Caitlyn is getting the kill. In the meantime, the blue team went on the Riven, but that really didn't help them at all because their Ezreal just died. It's currently 4 versus 5, and Riven is ridiculously strong. She's doing her best, trying to take down the Vayne. There is the stun from Riven. Down goes the Vayne. Down goes the Lulu, and Down went the Renekton to Kate as well. And now Riven's trying to chase down this Nasus. She does stun him. Wow, that was actually pretty impressive there. She stunned him before he was able to do a thing to her. And I thought he would probably get pretty close to one-shotting her, but it looks like she's going to chase him down and kill him instead. There's the pop-up. Tried to land the stun, did not end up landing it. Her team is pressing down mid, so they did get that inhibitor, and she's going to go ahead and finish him off. There we go. There's the rampage for her, and her team's going to go ahead and fall back here while she goes ahead and farms up. She is nasty. Wow. Anyway, the red team went ahead and tried to steal a little bit of the jungle. They are stealing wraiths, but I don't think red was there for Caitlyn to steal. No, it was not. So she was kind of hoping there, but it didn't end up happening. That was yet another engagement that went really well for the red team. And again, they focused the Vayne. Without focusing the Vayne, they would lose these team fights, but because of the fact that all the kills are on that Vayne, they know. I mean, they're diamond players, they're gonna focus the Vayne, and that's exactly what they should do, and by doing so, they are able to win these team fights. All of their kills are so spread out, although they're kind of getting concentrated somewhat on Riven now. But by this point in the game, it is really just widening the lead, and... Ooh. Oh, the trap. And they reacted instantly. They might have been able to go in on her, but probably not. And it looks like Riven's actually going up top to go in on that Renekton. He's going to try to go back. I think he'll be able to go back before she gets here, but she does have her Qs. And no, she's not going to go back. She does land that last Q on him. She jumps to him, stuns him, just does a little bit of damage, and forces him to go back somehow again without being able to get that initial back off. Doesn't really matter too much, but she did delay his back by a little. And now it looks like the red team's kind of posturing for a Baron here. Either that or they're just trying to catch the Lulu, which that's exactly what they did. That Lulu got caught while she was trying to clear those wards, and she just went down like that. So now the red team's going in on this Baron. They've got wards spread around. They'll know if the blue team starts heading up and they can pull off the Baron. But right now, there's really not much the blue team can do. Vayne is down bottom, and she is their strongest player by far. So it looks like this Baron is going to go to the red team, which is not good at all for the blue team. There we go. The Baron does end up going to the red team completely free, and it looks like now they are pinging this top lane to go ahead and go in on that. But 3 members are actually coming down here to go in on the Nasus and Ezreal instead. Now they're coming to converge on Renekton. And he's probably kind of nervous right about now, because he just saw Ahri and Riven, and he just saw the rest of the red team disappear. So they're going to go ahead, go in on this tower. I have a feeling they're going to get this with no problem whatsoever. Charm from Ahri comes out onto Nasus, does a little bit of damage, and a slow. I'm not sure it was really worth, but that's fine. And they're just clearing these wards that Lulu's placing. Lots of gold for them. And the rest of their team is just sieging these towers. Down goes the tower. The blue team was forced to fall back there because they knew that tower was going down. And yet again, here we go for another siege. Janna's still clearing these wards that they're placing. Kind of mean, but really, really wise. And Riven's actually backdooring here. She's going to go ahead and clear out these minions, forcing the blue team to react to her. If they come down here, they lose their tower. If they don't come down here, they may lose these towers. So Nasus came down, Lulu came down as well, and it looks like she's just going to go ahead and proxy a little bit. Got withered. Her team's falling back though, so she is going to go ahead and fall back as well. And now there's the ping on the bot tower. She's probably going to come over here and clear this out. Oh, she's going for the red. Good idea. Caitlyn's getting wolves. Everybody's just farming at the moment, waiting for that Riven to get the red, and I'd imagine they may end up collapsing back on the blue team. No, Riven's going to go ahead and go down here, grab this tower, and the red team's got to be careful here because they've got 3 here, 1 here, and 1 down here. Riven is going to get the tower out of this, but if her team dies because of it, that's really not a good thing. But as of right now, the blue team is still playing quite cautious. Nasus came down here to try to push Riven off, but Riven was Riven and really didn't care. And she did end up taking down that tower. Now she's working on this tower as well. Yet again, forcing Nasus to respond, and she's actually doing quite a bit of damage to him. Going back in on him again. There's her stun and her ulti, and she takes him down under the tower. Vayne and Lulu both responded to that, which means that top lane can actually go back in on this tower again, because Vayne and Lulu were down here with Riven. Vayne's trying to chase down the Riven, and I think Riven might actually be able to take her. In she goes, jumps to her, but The stun did not end up landing. Going in again, the Vayne goes ahead and uses her Blade of the Ruined King, though. Nice flash from Riven. I think Riven may end up escaping this. And it looks like she's actually thinking about going in, interestingly enough. Tower did go down for the red team. The blue team's tower went down for the red team. And the rest of the red team's still pushing. So that does enable... Oh, a nice little bait there. And Riven said, hey, you can't go back yet. Goes back in on the Vayne, goes ahead and stuns her. I don't know who's going to come out of this ahead. It looks like Riven will. Oh my gosh. Very nicely played there by BoxBox. And ended up taking that down. Nasus went down to Ahri in the meantime with this 4 versus 4. It's not going well for the blue team at all. There's the Janna ulti coming in. And looks like Jarvan... Oh, nice ulti. Landed both on Renekton and Lulu. Down goes Renekton. Down goes Lulu. Both to Caitlyn. And it looks like the red team really has this in the bag. Ezreal is forced back. There is the surrender. Wow. That was some pretty amazing play there from Riven. I really enjoyed seeing that. He was so low going in on that Vayne, but he was just able to completely destroy her. So that was actually very impressive. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at the people and their CS, kill, assist, items, etc. We've got Renekton, who has 171 CS versus Riven with 220. Riven is 10-1-2 versus 0-5-1 Renekton. Ouch. She's got Youmuu's Ghostblade, which from the looks of it she did end up using against that Vayne. Thornmail, good against Vayne. Brutalizer, Iron Boots Lucidity, and a Vampiric Scepter. Interestingly, she did not go for Bloodthirster, which I thought was core on Riven. Maybe it's not so much anymore. I don't know, I haven't played Riven in a while. Renekton has Sunfire Cape, Tiamat. Looks like he's going for Runean's Hurricane. I think that's what it is. Or is Runean's Hurricane the ranged one? I'm not sure. Ninja Tabby, Vampiric Scepter, and Thorin Shield. The Ahri has 209 CS versus 212 for Ezreal. They're actually pretty close there, but she's 526 versus 030. Pretty big difference there. She's got Deathfire Grasp, Nisa Large Rod, Seeker's Arm Guard. Looks like she's going for her Zhonya's. Sorcerer's Shoes and a Thorin's Ring versus Iceborne Gauntlet, Muramana, Ionian Boots Lucidity, Vampiric Scepter, and a Thorin's Blade. Looks like he might have been thinking about Blue Ezreal. Don't know because he didn't get that far. Caitlyn is at 183 CS versus 209 for Vayne. So she's actually a little behind. Actually, quite a bit behind thanks to Kill Death Assist. Vayne is 10-6-1 and Caitlyn is 6-5-7. Unfortunately for Vayne, a lot of those kills were fairly early game against these two. And these guys didn't get any resets on their gold. So she had a lot of diminishing returns there. Whereas these guys were able to get a lot of kills from everybody. So it really ended up coming out in the red team's favor. Caitlyn has Infinity Edge, Zeal, Berserker's Greaves, Vampiric Scepter, and a Doran's Blade versus Blade of the Ruined King, Phantom Dancer, Last Whisper, Berserker's Greaves, and a double Doran's. Janna has 16 CS versus 14 for Lulu. She's 0-3-15 versus 1-6-6. Pretty big difference there. She's got Shirley's Reverie and Ruby Sightstone. Not very much there. Whereas the Lulu has Ruby Sightstone, Cage's Lucky Pick, Philosopher's Stone, Boots of Speed, and Sight Ward. I'm kind of surprised if Janna doesn't go for Boots, but I guess it makes sense because Janna's pretty fast, just base, thanks to her abilities. Jarvan is at 87 CS versus 125 for Nasus. Nasus is a pretty big jungle, farm jungler. The Jarvan is 3-1-14 versus 1-4-2. Huge assist difference there. Sorry about that, that was my Skype. The Jarvan has a Frozen Heart, Giant's Belt, Ninja Tabby, Madred's Razors, and a Ruby Crystal versus Locket of the Iron Solaris, Spirit of the Ancient Golem, Ninja Tabby with the Home Guard enchant, and Cloth Armors. 2 of them. Alright, so that's the end of this game. I really did enjoy watching BoxBox, and I've got to admit, I'm pretty impressed with his gameplay. People were pretty right about him. He does actually play very well. I wish Velocity Esports luck since they did pick him up, and maybe eventually he'll end up being in their starting lineup. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this game, and I shall see you guys next time. Have a good night. Bye.